first and foremost, just the excitement of this announcement to come down for you and the entire Blazer Nation?
Well, I think it's very exciting because it kind of lets our fans know where we are, and I think this has been it's been a long time coming for us to know exactly when we would play, what's our schedule, et cetera. And really, this was all based around, what the NCAA told us we could do and how soon we could play and still be, in the FBS. Obviously 15 was a no-go because, we were almost already in the 15. So the good news with 17, it's just, as far as an FBS football fan and our fans, who they are, is, we'll be full FBS. We'll be bowl eligible. We could win a conference championship. Now, granted, we got a lot of work to do to get there. We got to build a whole football program back, but I think it's exciting.
And speaking on a lot of work to do, what starts from here on out? I think the big question a lot of people have is how you backload recruits with all the rules that go into you can only have 25 recruits that come on campus at a certain time. How does that work in this regard as far as how many you're allowed to, I guess, recruit at one time? Are they making an exception that you can have more than that 25 number?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that's a question on everybody's mind. And, obviously we've got a few former players that will probably come back that won't have to count as initials. And then, we've got guys we can bring in now. We got guys we'll be able to bring in February and so on. They are going to give us a few added scholarships to try and get us to 85. I don't see how we will be, all the way to 85 by 17, but we want to be as close as we can. We just got to do an unbelievable job of recruiting. Obviously, I think our national footprint of people know who UAB is and what we're about has changed, so that's going to help us. But we're just going to recruit like crazy.
And how do you sell a program to someone that is anxious to get out on that football field now? How do you sell them on 2017?
Well, I think what we're going to do is find people that fit, what we're looking for. And I think there's people out there, maybe they're coming off, an injury. Maybe they're coming off an academic problem. Maybe, obviously we got the young guys that are just going to be seniors now. We've got junior college guys that may not get out until then. But I think the idea that in 16 we're going to play, we're going to try and treat it as much like games as we can. I've already talked about having a couple of scrimmages that would be like homecoming. And, the good news is you're coming in on the same footing as everybody. You're going to lift and train and eat with the team. So, and you've got a chance to come in and start and play full FBS football. And so I think that's what we're going to be selling, along with obviously our school and university. And hopefully, just like we've been talking about, these facilities are fixing to match, our school and what we've been trying to accomplish. So that's going to be another thing that helps us sell it.
When you're talking about facilitating those practices and those workouts, has there been any mention as to when that can start? As a coach, when are you allowed to facilitate those workouts? Does that start down the road? Can that happen now?
No, that can happen now. If we had enough people, we could practice in the fall. We're just, I think for us that would probably be more of a training, almost like an off season where we lift and run. But we could practice if we wanted to. We're really gearing up toward, I guess that would be the 16th spring. Not this fall, but the spring right after. We're trying to have a spring training with as many as we had. That summer is going to be, I think it's going to be make or break for us for 17. We need to have, as close to a full squad as we can have going into that summer, and to really have a great real summer of camp and everything, and hopefully we carry as many of those guys as we can into that 17 season from that year.
Talking on the upgrade for facilities, probably what's one of the most exciting things that maybe the blueprint that you've seen or talked about or heard about that excites you most about the upgrade in those facilities?
Well, I think we got to start with a building. We start with a field house, and there's so much great talk going on. And, I know Mark said the other day, obviously it's the field house first and before it's a stadium and indoor. And I agree with that, but at the same time, I want to be big. I want to try and get all of those things. But I think our building is our number one priority, just because that's somewhere where, we have a deficit. And you start talking about a new facility right there on campus to go with our, the other great things we have at school, it would be a big deal.
And wrapping things up here, you're in contract negotiations right now. How important is signing a long-term contract and why?
I think it's huge, and I think everybody knows it. And I really do. I feel better about that in the last probably the last week or so, that I think it's heading in the right direction. And that's what I said. My agents came out and said that we've got confidence because that's all we've said since the get-go. If we're going to do it, we're going to do it right. And that's what, our administration said. So I believe that's going to happen. So, and I've kind of said, you know, and I think everybody knows why it's so important.
And how excited are you to just get this ball rolling and get going?
I'm just ready to get it going. I think, you know, you know me. A lot of folks know how I am. I'm ready to go to work. And I think just getting that release out today. I'm at media days, and I get to talk about our team and our program and what we're going to do. And I think people got a, you know, last year was a good taste of who we want to be and where we're headed. You know, I think now if you put facilities and a lot of these other things with it, you know, it could really be special.